So it is about India heat map. If you look at the number of merchants in the country, there are around 40 million merchants, irrespective of whether they are part of your fashion retail, or it is a grocery kirana shop, or it is departmental store, office supplies, etc. So 40 million merchants across the country. Retail stores, there are 12.3 million retail stores across the country. As we know that India is still a long way story when it comes to branded retail. So the share of branded retail is relatively less. Talking about the restaurants, we love food. Clearly you can see all the food stalls are full. So we have around 2.35 million of restaurants, different categories, different cuisines, branded as well as unbranded. Still, branded is still a long story. If you look at the category split by other retail categories, apparel is supposedly one of the highest. Apart from healthcare, healthcare is not a luxury; it's a necessity, and that's why maybe those numbers are weighted. A little bit about how we have calculated it. I am not sure whether you know about it. As Map My India, we have an app called Mapples. There are 32 million subscribers to that app. Google Map, you never download it. It always came with inbuilt in the, in your phone. That's why it's easy to use. However, we have many people who downloaded it, and the repeatedness or the stickiness to the app is very high. There are very, many USPs. The best way is to check is to download the app. So this is where, the entire result comes from this. What we have done, we have analyzed the 12 months of searches which has happened on this app. While the number, when you compare it with Google Map, might be minuscule, but however, it is good enough for you to tell the story or tell the movement or the brands which are, forming some importance in consumer mind. So if you look at the categories, of course, the first category is your tourism. We love to go to, holidays or wherever we are going, the big tourist destination, the high tourist footfall, they are the ones which are searched the most. The second category is your transportation, includes your domestic airports, your bus stations, your local metro stations, etc. So this is a hierarchy in terms of which are the categories which are being navigated the most. Coming to the sectors, the first one, the most shopaholic sector, we are in retail. So we will talk about which is the, which are those states where the searches for retail is happening the highest. Maharashtra, of course, it remains a retail hub for the country, for the brands, as well as definitely for the consumers as well. So Maharashtra being first, UP gets the second slot, which might be a surprise for many people in terms of hierarchy, but it does form the importance in terms of the retail dynamics. Third one is, yes, NCR, definitely shopaholic. These are the most searched malls. So we have Lulu, I saw a few of the brands. And trust me, we do not work with all of them. We do work with some, but it is unbiased. So the most searched mall across the country is Lulu brand. Then followed by Ambience and Phoenix Market City. Now, I think it has become no more brainer. In apparel category, Zudio stood out. Majority number of searches for 12 months plus monthly average is also commanded by Zudio. This is the only category where we did not put second and third ranking because it was significantly higher versus the second player. If you want to talk about who was the second player, then it was a Fashion Bazaar as well as West Side. In shoes, yes, Bata, while they are becoming trendy and it remains in our genes, the first searches, or if you talk about volumes, then yes, searches for Bata remains highest. However, there are, we see a lot of brands who are doing great, but in terms of, numbers, still, these are the ones which get searched the most. And one more thing, the important thing to note, navigation app, when you are serious with, then you start doing it. Nobody does a app, flirting on navigation app. Either you are checking the distance of the store or you are actually doing the journey. So that way, it is more serious than, let's say, any sample, survey which you'll get. It is not a stated response. It's an actual story. Somebody has actually navigated. Then, so in branded jewelry category, we have not included unbranded because it is mostly about the branded retail here. So unbranded, there are many local branded jewelers which emerge when you look into city or you look into, state. But this is at a national level. So your Tanishq, Malabar, and Kalyan seems to be the top 3 players which are most searched on this app. There is a category called home furnishing. IKEA has become, one of the prominent player in that. Nerolac, it may not have interior decoration shops, but it comes under that category. People think it has something related to home furnishing, and that is also getting searched. Then, yes, the first one is definitely no-brainer, thanks to, Mr. Modi, thanks to us. It was the, flavor of last year. So that is the place which is searched the most, Ram Janmabhoomi. Then there is a Shirdi Sai Baba as well as Mahakaleshwar Mandir. Then little bit more about the food. We love it, and clearly these are the most searched restaurants. So while Starbucks may not be a very, I would say it may not be a very unique or very insightful, but Amrik Sukhdev emerging as a top, player here is an insightful thing. So do not think that it's only big guys who make a difference. You may not know who is your competitor from a local market, which might hit you in, future. Similarly, QSR, we have Joey's Pizza. And what we have done, because these numbers are available at all India level, this number is also available at state level. You can cut it by city. Within city, you can see the district. Within that district, you can see which is in your area, wherever your brand is, who's the most who's the most searched in terms of your competition. So that's why what we have done for some of the categories, we are showing all India. For some of the categories, we are showing, state. So in Maharashtra, it is Joey Pizza, Pizza by the Way, and Burger Camp. It is in Pune. It's not Burger King. So those are the brands which are searched the most. We love eating, clearly. There is a variety of cuisine which gets searched, but we remain core to our roots, and Indian cuisine gets the highest searches across the country, across the state, across the city without any outlier. Otherwise, we would have shown that this is the city or this is the, one district where there is no Indian cuisine searches, which is the highest. So in terms, and if you look at the category, so the surprising one is within Oriental, there is a Sher-e Punjab, which is actually when you talk about it, it is not a Oriental cuisine restaurant, but they do have some, cuisine, and people consider that as an Oriental restaurant. So that is it. That was just a mini snippets report card, but I'll quickly talk about, what do we do. So MapMyIndia, it's a 30 years old company. We have a lot of data around the consumer spending. We have a lot of data around, traffic movement across the country. We do capture a lot of data on the credit card spend. So imagine if you want to know which city, what kind of spends are happening on the fashion category, we can give you all that. Whether it is, which city the branded fashion category is over-indexed versus under-indexed, which city your online purchases are more than under, of face-to-face merchant, all these nuances can be built in. So when you put all those numbers, the current infrastructure of retail for your category, the mobility index, the, let's say the spends on your category, the consumer profile, because we have updated population number for the country for 2023. Not only population, also the affluence number. And when you make a package, when you do analytics out of these variables, you are sharp shooting in terms of the high potential location for your brand, for your category, and for the entire retail. So there are many more slides, but I can clearly see the time is getting up. These are the sectors we work for. We work with fuel and energy to make them understand which stretch on the highway they should open the store. We also work with FMCG, where what is the growth corridor analysis. They are already well penetrated. If you talk about ITC, it's already there across, but there is always a potential to grow more. So, it is about prioritization. While you have to be present everywhere where your customer is, but there has to be a phased manner of expansion, and we help you do that. I think rest we can discuss more later, because I can clearly see the time is up. And that's it from my side. Thank you.